What's up, Wrestling Verse family? Welcome back to the channel, and oh my god, you are not going to believe what just happened at WWE Crown Jewel. If you missed this match, you missed one of the most controversial, most talked about, and most insane finishes in recent WWE history. Before we dive into this absolute madness, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and smash that notification bell because the story we're about to break down is going to have the entire wrestling world talking for weeks. This is the kind of content you cannot afford to miss. Today, we're breaking down how Seth Rollins defeated Cody Rhodes to become the Crown Jewel champion in the most shocking way possible. We're talking about luxury watches being used as weapons, controversial finishes, and a moment that has divided the WWE universe completely down the middle. So grab your seats, get comfortable, and prepare yourselves because we're about to dissect every single detail of this historic and controversial night. Let's get into it. Before we get to the chaos that unfolded at Crown Jewel, Wrestlingverse family, we need to understand the history and tension between these two incredible superstars. This wasn't just a random match thrown together. This was personal. This was years in the making. This was about pride, legacy, and proving who truly deserves to be called the face of WWE. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes have one of the most complex relationships in all of professional wrestling. They've been allies, they've been rivals, they've been brothers in the Shield era indirectly through their connections, and they've been competitors for the top spot in WWE. Their history is layered and rich with storytelling. Cody Rhodes returned to WWE with one mission: finish the story. He wanted to win the championship his father never could, cement the Rhodes family legacy, and prove he belonged at the absolute top of the wrestling world. Cody has been on an incredible journey, and the WWE universe has been behind him every step of the way. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, has always seen himself as the guy in WWE. The visionary, the revolutionary, the architect of the Shield. Seth has accomplished everything there is to accomplish in this business, but there's always been this underlying feeling that he needs to prove he's better than everyone else, especially Cody. The tension between them had been building for months. Subtle comments in interviews, sideways glances backstage, social media posts that seemed innocent but carried deeper meaning. WWE was masterfully planting seeds for this confrontation without making it obvious. When the Crown Jewel Championship tournament was announced, everyone knew these two were on a collision course. The format was perfect: a tournament to crown a new champion, bringing prestige and importance to an already massive event. Both Cody and Seth dominated their respective brackets, setting up this dream match in the finals. The build-up over the final few weeks was absolutely electric. Cody cut passionate promos about finishing his story and adding another chapter to the Rhodes legacy. He talked about his father, about perseverance, about proving that hard work and dedication always triumph in the end. Seth Rollins took a different approach. He was cocky, confident, borderline arrogant. He talked about how Cody was living in his father's shadow and that no matter what Rhodes accomplished, he would never be on Seth's level. The visionary claimed this championship was his destiny. The personal attacks got more intense as Crown Jewel approached. Seth started bringing up Cody's time away from WWE, questioning whether he truly deserved to be in this position. Cody fired back, saying Seth's ego had become bigger than his actual accomplishments. The war of words was brutal and compelling. What made this build so special was that both men had legitimate claims to being WWE's top star. Cody had the emotional journey and fan support. Seth had the track record and accolades. There was no clear favorite, which made this match feel genuinely unpredictable. When Crown Jewel night arrived, the atmosphere was absolutely incredible. The production was spectacular, the stage was massive, and you could feel the weight of this moment. This wasn't just about a championship, this was about legacy, about who would be remembered as the better man. Cody Rhodes made his entrance first, and the ovation was thunderous. The American Nightmare walked out with purpose, with determination, with the weight of his family's legacy on his shoulders. You could see in his eyes that he was ready to give everything he had to win this championship. Then came Seth Rollins, and the visionary was in full peacock mode. His entrance was extravagant, confident, and designed to show everyone that he believed this match was just a formality. Seth carried himself like someone who had already won. The contrast in their entrances perfectly captured their different approaches. The stare down before the bell was intense. These two men, former allies, now standing across from each other with everything on the line. The referee held up the Crown Jewel Championship, showing what was at stake. The crowd was buzzing with anticipation. This was going to be special. The bell rang, and both men immediately locked up in the center of the ring. The technical wrestling in the opening minutes was absolutely beautiful. Chain wrestling, reversals, counters, both Cody and Seth showcasing their incredible skills. This was wrestling at its finest. Seth gained the early advantage, using his speed and technical prowess to control the pace. He worked over Cody's arm, methodically breaking down the American Nightmare. The Visionary was wrestling smart, trying to take away Cody's most powerful weapons. But Cody is incredibly resilient. He fought back with his signature intensity, hitting beautiful uppercuts and power slams that shifted momentum. A disaster kick sent Seth stumbling backward. Cody was showing why he's earned the respect and admiration of the WWE Universe. The back and forth was incredible, wrestling vs. family. Every time one man seemed to take control, the other would find a way to counter. Seth hit a sling blade. Cody responded with a Cody cutter. The near falls started coming, and the tension was building to astronomical levels. Around the 15-minute mark, both men were starting to pull out their biggest moves. Seth went for a pedigree, but Cody countered. Cody set up for crossroads, but Seth slipped out. The crowd was on their feet, knowing that one mistake could end this match. The action spilled to the outside, and that's when things started getting chaotic. Seth threw Cody into the barricade. Cody retaliated by sending Seth crashing into the steel steps. The referee was giving them leeway because of the magnitude of this match. Back in the ring, Seth hit a superplex and rolled through into a Falcon Arrow. The crowd thought it was over. 1, 2. Cody kicked out. Seth couldn't believe it. He was starting to show signs of frustration that his usual arsenal wasn't enough to put away the American Nightmare. Cody mounted a comeback that had the crowd going absolutely crazy. Multiple bionic elbows in tribute to his father. A beautiful springboard cutter. Cody was feeling it, and the WWE Universe was behind him 100%. He set up for Crossroads, the move that could win him the championship. But Seth, veteran that he is, had it scouted. He countered out and hit a devastating knee strike that turned Cody inside out. Both men were down, exhausted, having given everything they had. The referee started counting, and the crowd was willing both men to get up. As both competitors struggled to their feet, Seth started looking around frantically. You could see the wheels turning in his head. He had thrown everything at Cody, and the American Nightmare kept getting back up. The Visionary was running out of options, and desperation was setting in. Here's where things get absolutely crazy. Wrestling vs. family. Seth rolled out of the ring, ostensibly to catch his breath and regroup. But while he was on the outside, he did something that nobody saw coming. He reached down and removed his incredibly expensive Rolex watch from his wrist. Now, Seth Rollins is known for his luxury fashion sense. The man wears custom suits, designer everything, and yes, extremely expensive watches. This particular Rolex was reportedly worth tens of thousands of dollars. It was a symbol of Seth's success and status. The referee was distracted, checking on Cody in the ring and making sure he was okay to continue. Seth clutched that Rolex in his fist, wrapping it around his knuckles like a makeshift pair of brass knuckles. The camera caught a glimpse of what he was doing, and the commentators were losing their minds. Seth slid back into the ring, the Rolex hidden from the referee's view. Cody was pulling himself up using the ropes, completely unaware of what was about to happen. The crowd was screaming, trying to warn him, but it was too late. Seth charged at Cody, and with the hand wrapped with that solid gold and steel Rolex, he threw the hardest punch imaginable. The impact of metal meeting skull echoed throughout the arena. It sounded like a gunshot. Cody's head snapped back violently, and he immediately collapsed to the mat. The damage was done. Seth quickly removed the watch and tossed it out of the ring to ringside, where it landed near the timekeeper's area. The evidence was gone in seconds. When the referee turned around, all he saw was Cody laid out and Seth standing over him. Seth made the cover, hooking both legs. The referee dropped to count. 1. The crowd was booing so loudly you could barely hear anything. 2. Everyone was screaming for Cody to kick out. 3. The bell rang, and Seth Rollins had won the Crown Jewel Championship. The arena erupted in boos. The reaction was absolutely nuclear. Fans were furious at what they'd just witnessed. Seth Rollins had stolen the championship using his Rolex as a weapon. The visionary had cheated his way to victory in the most controversial way imaginable. Seth quickly grabbed the championship and rolled out of the ring, clutching the title to his chest. He had that maniacal smile on his face, the one that says he knows exactly what he did and doesn't care about the backlash. The visionary had the gold, and that's all that mattered to him. Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes was slowly coming to in the ring, blood trickling from a cut above his eye where the Rolex had connected. The confusion on his face quickly turned to anger as he realized what had happened. He started protesting to the referee, but the official hadn't seen the illegal shot. The WWE universe was absolutely livid. Chants of negativity toward Seth were deafening. Trash was being thrown toward the ringside area. This was legitimate heat, the kind that money can't buy. Seth had just become the most hated man in WWE. The replays showed it clear as day. From multiple angles, you could see Seth removing the watch, wrapping it around his fist, and delivering that devastating punch. The evidence was undeniable. But in wrestling, if the referee doesn't see it, it didn't officially happen. Seth celebrated on the entrance ramp, holding the Crown Jewel Championship high above his head. He was laughing, taunting the crowd, soaking in every single boo. The visionary had accomplished his mission, even if the method was completely underhanded. Cody Rhodes was beside himself in the ring. He was demanding a restart, demanding justice, but WWE officials were surrounding him, trying to calm him down. The match was over, the decision was final, and Seth Rollins was the Crown Jewel champion. So let's talk about what this means moving forward, wrestling vs. family, because the implications are massive and the storyline possibilities are endless. For Seth Rollins, this victory is everything he wanted, even if the method was controversial. He's now a champion again, he's got the spotlight, and he's proven he'll do whatever it takes to stay on top. The visionary has always been willing to blur ethical lines to get what he wants. Seth can now claim he beat Cody Rhodes for a championship. Yes, he cheated, but he won. In Seth's twisted mind, this validates everything he's been saying about being better than Cody. The ends justify the means in his worldview. This also gives Seth incredible heat as a heel. That's nuclear heat we saw from the crowd. That's the kind of reaction that makes a villain truly great. Fans are going to pay money to see Seth eventually get what's coming to him. That's perfect booking for a heel champion. For Cody Rhodes, this is absolutely devastating. He was so close to adding another championship to his legacy, and it was stolen from him by underhanded tactics. The American Nightmare has every right to be furious and to demand justice. But here's what's great about this for Cody's character: he's now got the ultimate motivation for revenge. This isn't just about winning a championship anymore, it's personal. Seth embarrassed him, cheated him, and took something that rightfully should have been his. That's compelling storytelling. The rematch is going to be absolutely money. The build will write itself. Cody wants revenge and his championship. Seth wants to prove it wasn't a fluke and that he can beat Cody again. The WWE universe will be dying to see Cody get his hands on Seth. The question becomes, what kind of match will the rematch be? A no disqualification match so Seth can't cheat. A steel cage to keep things contained. An Iron Man match to prove who's truly better. Every option is exciting and would give us a different type of story. From a storytelling perspective, this finish was absolutely brilliant. Yes, it's controversial, but that's the point. Wrestling is at its best when it creates genuine emotion. Fans aren't just entertained, they're invested. They want to see the story resolved. The use of the Rolex as a weapon is also clever symbolism. Seth's wealth and privilege, represented by that expensive watch, is literally what gave him the victory. It's a commentary on how he uses every advantage, fair or unfair, to stay on top. Social media has been absolutely exploding since this match ended. Fans are passionately divided. Some love the heat and the storytelling. Others are genuinely upset that Cody didn't win clean. That debate and discussion is exactly what WWE wants. Several WWE superstars have posted reactions too. Some are calling out Seth's cheating. Others are congratulating him on his victory regardless of the method. A few are even suggesting they should get a shot at the new champion. The ripple effects are spreading. Wrestling journalists and analysts have been discussing whether this was the right call. Most agree that it creates incredible storyline potential, even if it frustrated fans in the moment. The long-term booking possibilities are rich and varied. There's also the question of whether WWE management will address this. Will there be an investigation into what happened? Will Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis demand a rematch? Will there be consequences for Seth's actions? These questions keep fans tuning in. The referee's positioning in all this is interesting too. In storyline, he didn't see the illegal shot, which is believable given the chaos. But you know that referee is going to be questioned about how he missed such a blatant use of a foreign object. Looking at the championship itself, the Crown Jewel Championship now has immediate prestige because of this controversy. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants to see what happens next. That's how you make a title feel important. For other superstars on the roster, this opens up opportunities too. Who's next in line to challenge Seth? Will someone step up to avenge Cody? Will a surprise return happen to go after the new champion? The possibilities are endless. There's potential for alliances to form as well. Maybe other superstars who have been screwed by Seth band together. Maybe Cody finds allies in his quest for revenge. Faction warfare could emerge from this storyline. The merchandise angle is interesting too. Seth's Rolex will probably become iconic. You could see replica versions being sold, or t-shirts with references to this moment. Controversial moments often become the most marketable. From a historical perspective, this joins a long lineage of controversial finishes at major WWE events. The screwjob, the fast count, countless other moments where the heel cheated to win. If booked correctly, this could be remembered alongside those legendary moments. The physicality of the match before the finish deserves recognition too. Both men worked incredibly hard and delivered an excellent wrestling match. The controversy doesn't diminish the quality of work they put in. The timing of the Rolex shot was perfect. It came at a moment when the match could have gone either way. It wasn't early, which would have felt cheap. It was at the climax, which makes it feel more dramatic and impactful. Seth's character work after the win was also excellent. His celebration was perfectly obnoxious and heel-like. He knows how to get under people's skin and maximize heat. That's the sign of a truly great performer. Cody's selling of the punch and his reaction afterward were equally excellent. His frustration and anger felt genuine. The cut from the impact added a realistic element that made everything feel more serious. The commentary team did a fantastic job too. They put over the controversy, expressed appropriate outrage, and helped the audience understand what happened. Great commentary enhances moments like this. Looking ahead, the next several weeks of WWE programming are going to be must-see television. How does Cody respond? What does Seth do as champion? Who else gets involved? Every episode will carry the weight of this storyline. There's also the possibility of Seth defending the championship against other challengers while Cody has to earn his rematch. That would stretch out the story and build even more anticipation for their eventual rematch. The long-term booking could lead to a WrestleMania showdown. Imagine Cody finally getting his revenge on the grandest stage of them all. That would be the perfect payoff to this story and would create a WrestleMania moment people would never forget. Character development opportunities abound. Does Cody become more aggressive and willing to bend rules himself? Does Seth become even more paranoid and desperate as champion? How do both men evolve from this moment? The Crown Jewel Championship itself becomes associated with controversy and drama. That makes it feel important and prestigious. Future champions will be part of this lineage that started with such a memorable moment. International audiences witnessed this history being made. WWE's global reach means millions around the world are talking about this moment. That kind of mainstream attention is valuable for the company and the performers. From a business standpoint, this finish guarantees strong viewership moving forward. Fans need to see what happens next. They need to see Cody get revenge. That's perfect booking to maintain and grow audience interest. The unpredictability factor is also important. In an era where fans think they know everything, this finish might have surprised some people. Those genuine surprise moments are increasingly rare and valuable. Alright, wrestling vs. family. That's the complete breakdown of Seth Rollins defeating Cody Rhodes with a Rolex punch to become the Crown Jewel champion. This controversial moment will be talked about for years to come. Now I desperately want to hear from you. What did you think of this finish? Was it brilliant heel work or did it go too far? How should Cody get his revenge? What kind of rematch do you want to see? Who else should challenge Seth? Drop all your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, absolutely smash that like button. Subscribe to Wrestling Verse for all the latest WWE news, analysis, and predictions. Hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our videos. Share this with every wrestling fan you know because this is the kind of moment that demands discussion and debate. Let's keep the conversation going across all social media platforms. Until next time, Wrestling Verse family, this has been your complete coverage of one of the most controversial championship wins in WWE history. Keep watching, keep supporting, and remember, in WWE, controversy creates cash. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.